Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June, early July 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Saggies. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up here one time, see what's going on this week for the Sagittarius Collective. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock. Start it off for Saggy, please, my guides. Nice and quick. Yeah, I said nice and quick, and we get the very first card when I shuffle. So we do have this interesting alchemist showing up here, and he has been visiting other astrological signs in recent weeks. Big card of focus, big card of creation. It's a very wise spiritual character as well, philosophical in a sense. Now, before we really start diving into this, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about our alchemical friend. So I do link this guy similarly to the Hermit. So for a portion of you, this could be just representing a Virgo that you're connected to front and center in this spread. If not, you see this person. He's looking at that potion. The potion is in hand. There's the alchemical symbol for the sun right over this person's third eye. So it can speak of illumination and wisdom, esoterics and all that beautiful stuff. But to me, this is a big card of focus. So maybe you're under someone's microscope in this time, or you have something you were deadlock focused on, putting a lot of energy, creative power into. This can be a very positive energy. It could also represent manifesting and just creation in general, which can be very beautiful. But for some of you, Spirit could be asking you to stay focused on something or reanalyze what it is you're pouring your energy into when we have this card. But very serious in its own right. Let's get into tarot. I always say the first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. But let's get you 3 cards in the upright before we get the intuitive juiciness flowing. We're going to shuffle it up here one time for Saggy. See what's going on this week. Guides and Spirit team, what do we got for my friends? So let's talk about last week's reading. Now, generally readings focus on the zodiac sign we're pulling for. Last week's, it did kind of link to others that are connected to you. It was titled They Are Mad. So for a lot of Saggies, there might have been someone you're connected to or someone in your midst. They were in their feelings for one reason or another. Upset, grumpy. It didn't have to be anything like earth-shattering, but it did feel like someone being quite a bit disgruntled. So let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, right? Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards. Let's see what we got for Saggy, please, my guides. That card popped. It flipped. It didn't come out, though. I only read jumpers. Okay, we got the 6 of Cups. There's some sort of link to the past. There's some link to history. That's a card of a big soul connection, possibly. We'll talk about. Let's get you 2 more. Then we'll really start to piece this all together. I do like the 6 of Cups generally. It could also be a thought-based type of card. So when we're talking about readjusting focus, that could be a big thing. Okay, we got the 5 of Wands in position number 2. I got this in the Aries reading as well. Interesting. So that could be a very determined card, but it could also be a card of combat. Let's get you 1 more. Thank you. Chariot, forward momentum, forward movement. Big card of travel. Okay. Interesting. We do have some battle going on here, Sagittarius. I may have got that for you last week, but on the back end here, there's a lot of conflict happening, or a lot of button heads. Let's talk about it. We'll go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes before we get the intuitive juiciness flowing. Now, at first glance, when I look down at this spread, there's quite a bit of water energy. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Chariot, which does link to the Cancerian zodiac sign. So there's a lot of water, which could represent emotion or unseen energies. There's this little conflicted energy on the back end, and we'll talk about it more as we break it down, but let's just go through. For some of you, this could be as simple as just someone that you have a lot of like rough history with showing up here in the front. Obviously not every Saggy. But position number 1, we have the 6 of Cups. You see this? 2 children, they're sharing the cups with each other. So to me, this is a card of the past. It could be a soulmate or soul connection showing up here front and center. When I see the Six of Cups, I think of someone that you have tons and tons of history with. There's a very deep, powerful emotional connection with this card. For some of you, you might be reminiscing on the past, like what you've done in the past and things like that. For better or for worse, we really need to look at the clarifier here, but sometimes it could represent the past swinging back around in one form or another with the Six of Cups. The positives, thinking of the good memories. The challenges of this, someone who has a tough history, which could be shown here, right? There might be someone you're linked to with a very tough history, okay? Like they've been through a lot. So let's keep pressing forward, because in position number 2, we have the Five of Wands. The positives of this card, and I say it for every card, I give their positives and negatives. You just pull what's valuable to you. The positives of this is a lot of determination. Sometimes I see this card when Spirit is testing you in various different ways. So this could be karmic tests, trials, tribulations, roadblocks. You see these people are beating the crap out of each other with sticks. So it's a simple message for us to discern. So we could think of determination. Whatever is thrown at you, you're going to keep pushing. If it's a rough and rugged road, you're down to walk it and keep it moving. But this could also be conflict. I do say sometimes it could be roughhousing, somebody being joking and playful, sure. But the main thing I always think of this is like just some sort of head-butting here. It's very fiery, it's explosive as well. So it could represent some sort of conflict. There may be a warning attached to this. Now, as we get to the back end, let me just place this down. We have the Chariot on the very back end. Some of you might just be linked to someone from the Cancerian Collective or Cancer, which we are currently in Cancer season at the time of this filming. So in my style reading, maybe it's going to show us something that's going to be coming to you in Cancer season. The Chariot is all about forward momentum. It's very, very fast moving. So it could represent distance. It could represent travel if you're planning a trip or you just feel like you need to break free and like spread your wings for a while. That could be the Chariot. But I always remind people that the Chariot was originally made to be an instrument of war, an instrument of battle. So if none of those other things fit, when we have the Five of Wands and the Chariot, it's like these energies are on a showdown of some sort. So we'll really see what's up. For a portion of you, this could also be someone ducking conflict, you know, trying to avoid conflict, trying to lay low, like with the way this is laid out. So, because this Chariot could be moving in the other damn direction for all we know. So let's dive deeper. I really want to. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, I'm going to get you a good shuffle here, Saggy. Interesting layout of energies, unique from the other ones, that's for sure. Let's see what's up. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any energies that you want to give to Saggy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Six of Cups time. Why is it here? What's the Six of Cups about? Thank you. The first thing that popped into my head is like someone feeling like they have unfinished business. The King of Pentacles in reverse, maybe it's a earth sign that you have quite a bit of history with. If not, when I see the King of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like shaky ground to me, or just something that's not settled. So when I see this, maybe it's something you're feeling, like something from the past or something that's already elapsed, wasn't settled in a proper way. Or maybe this is someone that feels like there's unfinished business between you and them. And I don't mean to say that to be ominous or anything like that, or try to make anyone nervous, but that's just intuitively what this feels like to me. Now, of course, we could pull other messages from it, like somebody who has like a really rough financial past, financial history when stuff like this shows up. This could be someone with father issues or issues with a male figure. But the main thing I'm picking up here with the Six of Cups and the King of Pentacles in reverse is somebody feeling like, all right, that wasn't settled properly and this business is unfinished. Like, I need a better resolution. I need some closure, right? That's a big vibe I'm picking up here, is like someone needing or wanting closure of some sort. So, I mean, which is a nice pursuit sometimes, but I'll just say this, like, we're not always going to get closure from things in life. Like, yeah, there's some times where we can find it. There's a lot of times we'll never really get true closure, right? Closure is in acceptance, right? When you accept something, that's your closure. Let's move in on that Five of Wands. I don't want to go off on a tangent here, Sagittarius. So let's see why that Five of Wands is here. please. As now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. So what's up with the 5? Big card of change back there. Thank you. King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, it's a little uncontrollable now. And I will mention this, kings in tarot, they represent control of their respective suit. We have 2 kings here, both of them are in reverse. King of Wands in reverse underneath this 5 of Wands. This is someone's emotion boiling over. This is someone, and I don't want to say, it could be an explosive conflict, that's for sure. But I feel like this is someone, their emotion erupting or overflowing, right? Like it's an emotional explosion or an emotional eruption where something builds up, and just that spills over. That's a vibe I'm getting here, especially with 2 kings in reverse. So I would take this as a warning, okay? Like there might be some volatile energies in the coming days and weeks. Your temper might be extra hot because remember, Saggy is a fire sign. King of Wands, doesn't matter if you're male or female, this could be representing you and your temper. So there might be something that just makes you boil over. You could be running hot in a big way. King of Wands in reverse could also represent somebody who is not focusing on the proper things. And I'm going to take you back to the very first card of this reading that I was speaking about, focus. The King of Wands focuses their energy in proper places and positions. So don't waste your time on certain things or certain individuals. Make sure you're focusing up and like putting your energy to good uses. Okay, maybe some of you are just in that mode. Like, listen, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my energy. But there is this bubbling over as well. So do with that what you will, right? I can only tell you what the cards are going to say. Doesn't make it 100%. But let's go in on that Chariot, and then we'll do a quick recap before we close it off. Interesting that for some of you with the kings in reverse, there could be certain things that are just out of your hands as well. Like there's certain things like, yeah, there's nothing I could do about that. Let's go in on that Chariot before we do our recap. Thank you. Ace of Swords. Yeah, somebody possibly wanting to make something right. The Ace of Swords in the upright, the Sword of Truth, seeing things with clarity. Yeah, there might be just a situation that you are just tired of feeding into. Okay, I do get the energy of somebody wanting to make something right, but at the same time, the way this is feeling, it's like, okay, I'm going to move away from that energy. Like whatever this is, whatever this mayhem is, this uncontrollable energy, I don't want it, I don't need it. I'm going to lay low, I'm going to stay in my lane. And I do feel like for a lot of you moving towards a new cycle with the Chariot and the Ace of Swords, there might be certain things you're wanting to remove from your life, whether it is ways of acting, ways of being. But this is mental clarity and seeing things for what they are, seeing them truthfully and honestly with the Ace of Swords underneath that Chariot. So there could be something that you were possibly wanting to move away from. I don't want to use a word like end, but you don't want to feed your energy into something anymore. That's a big vibe. For some of you, maybe that's how someone you're linked to is feeling. Like, all right, I'm not going to put as much energy into this. It is what it is. Okay, and they're just accepting it for what it is. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. So let's go through and do a quick little recap here, Sagittarius. Interesting, a little bit of a back and forth type of reading. But yeah, we'll go through before we get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box here, position number 1, we have the 6 of Cups with the King of Pentacles in reverse. I already mentioned the double kings in reverse could represent a lack of control. But initially, the first thing I was feeling on this front end was somebody wanting to, or somebody feeling like they have unfinished business. Like, okay, that wasn't settled how I wanted it to be, or this is somebody wanting closure of some kind. That's why I delivered that message. Sometimes real closure isn't possible. Closure is in acceptance. In the center, we have the 5 of Wands with the King of Wands in reverse. So yeah, I did get that eruptive, explosive energy of just something bubbling over, like some emotion or just energy. Watch out. I did say this as a warning, like your temper might be flaring up, or the anger that we were seeing in last week's reading could be showing up here. But there is something about focus that I was seeing, like in the back end of this reading, like, am I going to focus on this anymore? Am I going to keep feeding into this type of energy? So as we press forward through the back end of this reading, we get to the Chariot and the Ace of Swords in the upright. You might decide to stop feeding your energy into something, whether you feel it's a drain, whether you feel like it's not making any progress. It doesn't matter what you do. You might be of the mindset, all right, well, it is what it is, and I'm just not going to feed into it anymore. Seeing things clearly, okay? So you might be moving towards some sort of very brand new cycle. It feels good on the back end, Saggy. But let's get you one shadow card here. Interesting spread. But yeah, we're just going to see what's in the shadows. Nice and quick. One card, just to put a cherry on top of the reading. What's in the shadows for Saggy, please? My guides and spirit team. And I found that interesting. I wonder how the Saggies are going to do this week with all that stuff happening. At least we weren't seeing towers or anything like that, right? Let's get you one. Yeah, this deck is acting a little funky. There it is. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands, forward movement, forward momentum, and we're kind of picking that up on the back end of the spread. The Eight of Wands could speak about communication, conversation, how you express yourself. So I will say with the wand energy we were picking up in the main spread, the Eight of Wands in the background could be saying that, yeah, watch out for arguments and stuff like that in this time when this shows up. This is also a card that is very fast moving and might be prone to rushing. So Spirit could be asking you, like, listen, I know you want to do this, I know you want to do that, but take your time. Don't rush it. Don't move forward too fast. Don't be too spontaneous when this card shows up in the shadows. So we're just going to place it down right here. I'm not going to overcomplicate it, but there could be something around a talk or a communication showing up heavily in the shadows as well, something that may have left a mark. But yeah, Saggy, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for the month of June, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one explains how you're feeling currently right now. Which one are you vibing with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.